everybody, this is T from CAS Crafty Closet, and I'm here today with another card for Christmas. Lately, stuff that I've been making has been popping up in my feed from like last year, the year before, and stuff like that. So it just gave me the idea to kind of like recreate cards, maybe change them up a little bit, maybe not change them up, maybe do them the same. So it's kind of like, that's what I decided to do. So this is the first card that I'm going to recreate. This one I did last year on either Periscope or a Facebook Live over in my group, where I still to this day do Facebook Lives and I still do Periscopes. So make sure if you're interested, you like live formats where you can talk and interact with other people and myself, make sure you check out the social media links that I put in the description box below. So this card I'm pretty much going to do exactly the same. Only thing that's going to be different is the stamp sets that I'm going to be using in today's video. So let's go ahead and get ourselves started. So the first thing you're going to need is a piece of 110-pound black cardstock. This is just Recollections from Michaels, and this is a standard A2 size top folding card, which means that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And the next thing that I went ahead and did is I cut 2 pieces out of some cardstock. This is an 80-pound version of it, and I used this stitched A2 size rectangle die from My Favorite Things, and I'll do the best that I can to link all the products that I use today in the description box below as well, for in case you want to go shopping and check them out. So I did 2 of those because one's going to be inside, one's going to be on the outside. So now let's go ahead and just adhere the one on the inside. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape on it just so I can kind of finish this roll up. Usually I will use my liquid adhesive, which typically is my art glitter glue, is my go-to liquid adhesive. But I'm just saying, this is some double-sided tape that I've had in my stash for quite some time. I'm just going to burnish it down so it makes it easier for me to pull off that release paper. Come in with my Timholtz pokey tool and pull that release paper off. Okay. One, you got 2 more to go, and then we'll put that on the inside of the card, which leaves room. If you want to put a sentiment in it, you most certainly can, or if you just want to leave room for a special note to the recipient. Completely up to you. All right, boom, there we go. So we got that done. So we're going to go ahead and open up our card. Do the best to my ability to line it up, center it. Does it work? Not all the time. So I'm going to go with OK with that, and boom, that's done. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do the plaid background. If you have plaid paper, you most certainly can, but today I want to go ahead and use stamps that are in my stash. This is a Concord 9th plaid stamp set. The previous one I used was a stamp set from RG Avenue, but this one I want to use because I think I've only used it maybe once, maybe twice. And we're going to take that other panel, stitch rectangle, make sure the stitch side is up, and then we're going to take some black ink. This happens to be ink on 3 blackout ink. Okay, and I'm just going to ink it up, and I'm not going to stress about it being perfect because I like that distressy look, or that worn plaid as I like to call it. All right, and I'm just going to lay this on top of the stamp itself, and then I'm going to grab a piece of copy paper so I don't get inky fingers or get it anywhere onto the panel. So I'm going to go ahead and put the stitch side down, do the best that I can to get it lined up on there straight. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to grab that copy paper and just smooth it over with your hand. Like I said, I'm not stressing about it being a crisp, perfect image. So it kind of looks like the previous card, where it's a little bit on the distressed side. Okay. So then we can now pull up that panel, and boom, there we go. Perfect. Like it. It's like I missed a little bit on that stitch part, but that's okay because on the other card, the stamp wasn't big enough anyway, so it left a border around it. So I'm perfectly okay with that. And the next thing I went ahead and did is put some double-sided adhesive tape from Elizabeth Crafts. This is a 2.5 inches. And then I use some of this Cricut shimmer paper. This is the Bedazzled Sampler. And here is the red piece that I use. And like I said, the adhesive is on the back. And then I went ahead and used this Tim Holtz and Sizzix Flurry 2 die. And I went ahead and die cut it out using that. And I already peeled off the backing and stuff because I'm still got little pieces of it. And I'm going to go ahead and do my best to center it. And I got a piece of paper showing through right here. All right, I just want to remove that, just center it to the best of my ability. And that's going to be right there. And I can adhere it down because it's already got adhesive all the way around it. Okay, so liking that, it's very cool. Okay, and the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do our little sentiment strip using this stamp set from My Favorite Things. These are just a bunch of sentiments for holidays, and this one is called Bitty Holiday Wishes. So and I'm going to use the Merry Christmas one in there. So we're going to bring back this in because we'll need that in a second. We don't want to lose that. And I'm trying to find my little sentiment strip that I cut earlier because, like, I know I have it. But where did it go? Don't you love when things just disappear in your craft room and you're like, I know I just had that. Where did it go? So I'm trying to find it, and it's like I know I put everything right next to me, so I wouldn't lose them all. But I guess I went ahead and lost them all. Well, here it is. I found it. It fell. And this is just like a 1/2 inch piece of black cardstock, and we're just going to go ahead and put down our anti-static powder tool. This is just one I picked up from Michael's, but anything that you have will work. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to go in with our Versamark ink pad, and we're going to put that sentiment. I already have it on my little round block, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this lightly, and then go ahead and put that down onto, got to pull a little bit closer to me, and I'm just going to stamp it to the best of my ability, and boom. Might be a little bit crooked, but I'm okay with that. Then we have some Ink on 3 Arctic White embossing powder, and I'm just going to go ahead and dip that in. Go ahead and shake that excess off. We have a little bit lying around, just kind of give it a little flick. And if you still have too much, you can grab a brush if you have one close by. Like I have this one, and I'll just go ahead and pull off that excess powder. And it's like I really messed up that M when I did this, so I'm gonna have to start all over, which is okay. Sometimes you have to start all over, and that's the wonderful thing of crafting. It's okay to make mistakes. All right, so I'm not going to stress that part out. I'm just going to go back in and grab that anti-static powder tool. So, see, I like to leave my mistakes in here so you can see how I don't stress out about it. I just go ahead and do the best that I can and fix it. Okay? And, all right, so I'm just going to do that and do that. And we're gonna grab that stamp again and that Versamark ink pad as well. And try to do better at stamping. I guess it moved on me when I did it. Okay. Like that's a little bit too far down, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Not gonna stress about it. And we're just going to put our powder into the powder, shake off the excess. Okay, and there we have it. Close this back up so we don't have a complete disaster. We'll just blame it on, it's distressing, you know, we'll blame it on that. Heat up our embossing gun. Okay. And we'll just melt our embossing powder, and you can always tell it's melted because it gets that shiny look. Okay. There we go. Okay. And I already had one done from earlier. It's a little bit more centered, so we're going to go ahead and use this one. So not to stress out. I always try to do more sentiment strips than I need, and keep them in my stash in case I'm pressed for time. All right, so here we go. We got that. Works perfectly. I'm going to put double-sided adhesive on this one as well, just to help me get rid of that little roll, which might be too big. No, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. So let's try to find the end of it though. And we will put it on there. Okay. Like I said, you can use liquid adhesive or anything that you want. So it's like it wants to not cooperate with me. So I'll stretch it out and be able to do it like this. If I have excess, it's okay because it'll go onto the back of the card and I can hide that, so not stressing that part out. And this is just tear and boom, do the release paper first, burnish it a little bit, and then go ahead and pull off that release paper. Try with my finger first. If it doesn't work, which is not working, we're just going to go ahead and grab it with this pokey tool. It's hard because I can't grab that cardstock. There we go. We got it. So I'm okay with it. Whoops, just trying to decide which way I want the top and which one I want to be the bottom. I like it like this. So let's go like that, and we will, I'm not going to push down just yet. All right, and I think I'm okay with that placement, and I'll just fold that over, and there we have that aspect of it. Put it down. If you have a microfiber cloth nearby, you can use it to kind of get some of that powder from the anti-static powder tool off of there. And we'll push down our snowflake. Okay, we'll bring in our card base, and we're going to put some foam squares onto the back of it to give it a little bit of dimension. I really like this card. The thing is, like, you can use any color combination that you like. So I really love plaid. It's like, I know that's a very on trend this year. I've loved plaid for as long as I can remember. So it's like, yeah, I'm glad it's trending this year because I want to make everything plaid. It's like, so I've got one more of these foam squares, and then I'm not going to bore you with pulling off the release paper and adhering to the front of the card. I'll just place it on there so you can see how it's done. I would put a little bit of liquid adhesive on that so I have a little bit of wiggle room. So then I would just basically put that onto the front of our card here, and that basically is going to make our card finished today. Let me bring in the previous one. Like I said, it's very similar. You know, it's a little bit more different with the stamp, but similar in how it was created. The only thing I did this one, I realized that I did it upside down. When you open it, it's the opposite way, but that's okay. That's why I still have it in my stash. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Make sure you hit that notification bell when it pops up, so YouTube is supposed to notify you each and every time I upload a video to YouTube. So again, thank you for joining me, and have a crafty day, y'all.